I welcome you all once again to the very first LCN Conference organized by Lagos Communities and Futures Exchange and supported by NGX Academy, Securities and Exchange Commission, CIS Academy, and Coronation World. My name is Kodira Abdulakim, a penultimate year finance student at the University of Ilorin, and I am an LCN Campus Ambassador. It's an honor to be here with you all today. Thank you very much. So, this conference themed Future Finance Leaders, Exploring Career Pathways in Modern Financial Markets, is created to not only provide knowledge about opportunities that exist in finance, but as well as how to strategically position ourselves for it. So thank you very much for being here with us today. We'll be having seasoned professionals of finance that will be joining us for this event from NGX, CIS, Coronation Wealth, and Securities and Exchange Commission. So thank you for being here with us. Alima Ibrahim Yusuf from Federal University of Lokoja, thank you for joining us. Bilkis Yisa from Ahmadu Bello University, thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for joining us. So without further ado, I'm going to be inviting Mrs. Nkechi Obichidi, the Head of Operations at LCFE, to give us the opening remarks. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Kodira. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning to all LCN, that's the LCFE Campus Network members. We are so excited to officially launch the very first conference for the LCN campus networks across Nigeria. We are more than excited that this day that we have been working towards for a while is finally here. I'd like to thank you once again for believing in the vision and for joining in. Like Kodira has said, my name is Nkechi Obichidi. I am the Head of Operations at Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, and it's been my immense honor to bring the opening remarks today. To bring the opening remarks this morning. First of all, I'd like to thank the Securities and Exchange Commission for their ongoing support to Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange over the years and having the shared vision to drive financial knowledge, financial literacy to the next generation. And this is one of the many outlets that LCFE has set up to make this happen. I'd like to also appreciate the board and management of Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. I'd like to thank our esteemed partners, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and the CIS Academy. And I'd also like to thank our partners and sponsors, Coronation Wealth Management and the NGX Academy, and to all, and WCM Capital as well. We'd like to thank you all for putting your hands together to join this vision. So this is the very first joint LCN Campus Network Conference being hosted by our humble selves, Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. And this year's theme is tagged the Future Financial Leaders, Exploring Career Pathways in the Modern Financial Market. We in the capital market, we have spent a lot of time preparing the markets for the next generation, but we know that until the market is ready for the next generation with the utilization of technology, of AI, and all the other attractive elements, it will be difficult to attract them in. So it's a great pleasure to see that all major capital market stakeholders with the regulators at the top are actually at this conference today, showing credence to the fact that we have all agreed that the next generation of investors, the time for them to come in is now. So we appreciate you once again, and we are more than excited to have this going on. The LCN Campus Network has about 16 tertiary institutions part of it, and is growing every day. I know that the programs manager will talk about that a little bit more, but my job is just to say that their students, you have access to a whole lot of professionals with decades of experience in the capital market, in the financial markets here with you today. They will be speaking to you not just from the theoretical experience, but from real practical experience. So I encourage you, take notes, ask questions during the sessions, during the Q&A sessions. Please put them in the comments. They are sure to be able to answer your questions because they are very knowledgeable professionals here today. And beyond just being a participant or asking questions, you should start chatting your course within the financial market and ask specific questions to see how you can enter into the capital market through the career pathways and how you would grow, and also participate as investors, as commodity traders, as stock traders, as price analysts, as commodities pricing analysts, and so on and so forth, as research analysts, as business development officers. The opportunities within this space, within the capital market, are endless. And I will be amiss to say that the commodities exchange, being the newer entrant into the capital market, opens up the capital market to a whole lot of opportunities, with the listing of gold contracts, gold instruments, commodities instruments like agricultural products, oil and gas products, solid mineral products, and so on and so forth. We are opening up the capital market with newer opportunities, with newer products for you to participate in. So I'd like to say thank you once again for being a part of this session. I will be here and I'll be back again later, but I trust that you will have a fantastic conference this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that wonderful opening remarks. It was really, really inspiring. And also, as Mrs. Nkechi Obichidi rightly stated, there are seasoned investment professionals on this call that are going to give us exposure to careers we did not even know exist in finance. So this is a really great opportunity. Do you have your jotter and pen with you? Because I have mine with me already. So be ready for what we are bringing today. Thank you for joining. Once again, this is the very first LCN conference organized by Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange and sponsored by NGX Academy, SEC, Coronation Wealth, and CIS Academy. Thank you. So up next, I'll be calling on Mr. Dupree Peoples, Programs Manager of LCN at LCFE, to give us an overview of what LCN really is. I'm sure since morning you have been hearing LCN, I'm an LCN ambassador, LCN this, LCN that. Mr. Kipos is going to give us an overview of what LCN really means and your role in that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kodura. Thank you to everyone for being here. I'm excited to be here. So shortly, I will be sharing my screen. I'm just sorry if I'm a little bit nervous. It's because I'm overwhelmed and I'm just excited to be here in general. So I'm going to be discussing the introduction to LCN, what LCN is about. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a jiffy. So please, let's just listen. I don't intend on boring you. I just intend on spending about maybe 5 minutes of your time to tell you about LCN and what we've done in the past year since inception. Thank you very much. So, just a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So good morning once again, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to be introducing the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange Campus Network journey so far. This was originally created by colleagues, of which I've been privileged to be the programs manager. We also have other executives of Lagos Community and Futures Exchange network here from the campus. And then we also have the campus leads that are here. And I'm so happy, like Kodira, Umar, Iribi, that are also part of this presentation, that we've come this far. So sometime last year, the idea was born in starting what we call a campus network, with the major aim of getting down to the grassroots, getting down to universities, getting down to secondary schools, to talk to students and financially put financial literacy on their minds or in their forefront, because we noticed what had been happening in the investment society. There had been scams, there had been Ponzi's, there's been issues. So over the past 1 year, we've worked with the likes of Securities and Exchange Commission together with the CS Academy, being supported by the zonal director, Mr. Briggs, and the registrar, in ensuring that we have driven forward financial literacy in the capital market. And I'm also happy with the likes of NGX Academy that is here today for this program. So like I said, what was the campus network? What was the idea behind it? Simple. We just wanted to create a community of future investors and stakeholders that fully were equipped with the right knowledge of commodities markets. First, investment, meaning not limited to commodities, food security, technology, and ethics. And the major vision for doing that, once again, is that we wanted to create that awareness and engagement with them. And we're happy over the past year, we're about clocking a year, and we're happy over that year, we've been able to achieve as much as we could beyond our wild imaginations. Like the head of operations alluded to in the opening remarks, we've had 16 universities that have onboarded the network over the past 1 year, of which we've had engagements with, we've had financial literacy sessions with, and now it has all culminated in our first annual conference. So basically, the main target when we started the campus network was to be able to reach 2,000 units, 2,000 university students to join the network, to build awareness on the impact of LCFE in the Nigerian economy. But much more than that, over the past few months, we've also discovered that we've been building into them the general idea of what investment is like, or what investment looks like, whether in the commodity space or stock space or bond space, whatever the space may be. We've been building into them that awareness, and we've equipped them about commodities trading and ecosystem. And you can see that there's an evidence here with the amount of students that are here that we've had programs with, in terms of research papers, in terms of sponsorships, in terms of symposiums, so on and so forth. We've been able to collaborate with existing students and associations that have fostered capacity building through financial literacy. So on the board here, we proposed universities we started with, and it was intentional putting these proposed universities we started with. For instance, just to mention a few, we have the likes of Unilag, we have the likes of Insuka, we have Covenant University on board, we have Uniport on board, we have OAU on board. We have 16 universities out of all the universities here, of which we've also reached out to some, and some are willing to come on board. We have OAU on board, and we have I can't mention all 16 off the top of my head right now. We have Amadou Bello, like we've alluded to at the beginning. We have Unilorin also. And these 16 universities have majorly covered all geopolitical zones, basically. So these universities have been part of the network. And what we've done in the past year has been to engage them, have financial literacy programs with them, speak to them about commodities, speak to them about the investment market, speak to them about capital markets, financial markets, what to do, what not to do. And basically, we've seen that ripple effect in the impact that has left. In the past year, we've also seen that some of the students, even the investment societies of these various campuses, when their presidents have handed over, they've been able to pass that knowledge down. And I don't think Nigeria as a whole can look past this generation of students. In this generation, let's say Gen Z, permit me, I don't know if there's anyone after that, but we can't look past that in terms of engaging students, knowing that they have the power to change what the future of our nation will look like. So basically, what was the phase one we started with? We engaged students, like we've mentioned. We delivered sessions. We've been able to go to some universities. We've been able to have virtual sessions, of which in my next slide will address that. We've been able to have partnerships with students. We've been able to train them. We've been able to issue certificates. We've been able to talk down to the respective investment societies. We've even gotten them to do research on commodities. We've also taught them how to do research. Basically, everything within the financial market and capital markets, of which I can't say much because I know we have our presenters and our speakers over the course of this program that would address as much as needs addressing. So one of the first universities we entered was Abu Zaria, and we taught them basically in a month. We taught them about the commodities market as a whole, from understanding the commodities ecosystem down to how trades can work, down to factors that affect commodities. We taught them for a month, of which the president is also here. I think at one point he would probably just raise that up also. So we taught them the role commodities can play in the ecosystem. We taught them about market structure, the opportunities, and it was a very, very exciting conversation. Aside Amadou Bello, we've also had trainings with the likes of Uniport, where we taught them we had a session on commodities versus stock trading, the difference between commodities and the difference between commodities and stock markets, the benefits, what and what not to do in those respective markets, although it was a little bit focused towards commodities markets, of which you have representatives from NGS that I know would shed some light for these students, and we have one or two brokers here that will shed some light for these students. So we had a session on
Sorry, sorry, please. Our speaker does have issue with the system and will be reconnecting soon. Please just let us just give like 2 minutes for him to reconnect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. As Mr. Ibuka has just stated, I think Mr.
Sorry,
Pere is having.
apologies on that. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I'm back. Apologies on that. I was just disconnected a little. Apologies on that. Let's continue from where I stopped. Thank you very much. So, like I was mentioning earlier, we taught them about stocks and commodities markets. So what has the next phase, or what would the next phase look like? Basically, the next phase is just to go down to the secondary school level. We feel, as an organization, we feel that if we've been able to achieve some success with the universities, then it would be easier to achieve similar success with secondary school students, basically. So it means that presently we are working on plans and structures to get down to secondary school students. One of those structures has been, we've had our financial literacy programs every year during the IOSCO week, and we've given internship opportunities to university and secondary school students to be part of the exchange for a period of time. So we are presently working with lots of secondary schools to see how we can get to their level, so that if we can build even at an earlier stage, we can actually take them up down to the university level. If we can build at the secondary school level, it means we can actually leave a sense of what the capital market generally looks like in these students' mindset, meaning we can push them from that secondary school level down to the the university level, that it's easier for them to preach the good news about investments, commodity stock, bonds, etc., so on and so forth. So it's basically going to enable us create a long-term pipeline of informed market participants so that they can know from 18, from once they've gotten to a certain age, they don't have to wait till they start making the billions. From any amount, they can start investing in the capital market, and they can have a sense of financial literacy, which will enable them build long-term wealth, which is not something we've often seen. So what's our journey so far? I've already explained as much as possible what we've done so far, the 16 universities, the gap that we've bridged in the commodities and financial space. We've empowered students with financial education, and we've built a generation of informed market participants. So all this is just reiterating what I've spoken about in terms of what we've done as an exchange and what the educational arm, which is the LCFE Campus Network, has done basically in the capital market, and how we've also expanded partnerships, and how we even intend to expand more in terms of partnerships with these students. So some of the programs that we've done sometimes also is that we have had quarterly trainings. Business, commodity presentation, certifications. We've had strategy meetings with the campus leads. We've had research presentations that we've published sometimes also on our website for students, and that we've also published to our investment community so that they can see what students are actually doing in the commodity space and financial space. So like I said earlier, one of the major things for us has been the educational and capacity building, because that's the major thing or major reason the campus network was started, to talk to them and have seminars, have webinars, get invited for their innovations, for their symposiums, do debates, do research competitions, give them skills for the investment market that they can build on. So what have students benefited? Mentorship. Till date, I can be proud to say I have some of the students that are here that till date will communicate, and then they talk to me about the commodities market or investment space, and we're enlightening them. They've been able to build digital skills, public speaking. I'm happy that the LCN program today has been handled by students. I'm just privileged to be speaking. Our host, like she said, Kodira, representing Laurie, one or two other students are also part of the event, and they'll be here to speak to everyone here, which is a big deal for them. But we've been able to build and create an environment for them. Teamwork and collaboration from different schools. We've been having those interrelationship from different schools and students that represent different schools. Knowledge of the market, and then adaptability to market trend. So at this point, I think I'm more or less done. So thank you for listening. I really, really appreciate once again everyone for being here, all the sponsors and everyone that has decided to be part of this event, and you, the students, for joining us here. So thank you. I can't wait to, listen to every other segment and then just enjoy myself and learn. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Prey, for that amazing presentation. Like, it was really, really interesting to learn what LCN does and how it provides opportunities for not only university students, but also secondary school students to learn about capital markets and investments at an early age. It is it's a really, really amazing thing. So I'm sure by now we all now know what LCN is about and what LCN does. So if your university is not part of LCN and you like to join, after this program, you can reach out to Mr. Prey to learn about how your university can be part of LCN. Thank you. So up next, we'll be having Mr. Taiwo. We'll be having excuse me. Yeah, so up next, we'll be having the keynote address titled The Future of Capital Markets and Nigeria's Economic Transformation, to be delivered by Mr. Taiwo Odusanya from Securities and Exchange Commission. So who is Mr. Taiwo Odusanya? Mr. Taiwo is a seasoned capital market professional and currently serves as Head of Corporate Governance and Market Development at the Lagos Zonal Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria. He holds a BSc in Economics from Olabisi Onabanjo University and an MBA from Lagos State University. With experience spanning regulatory operations, finance oversight, and regional leadership at the Ibadan Zonal Office, he brings deep insight into market supervision and governance. He plays a key role in promoting strong corporate governance, investor education, and the overall development of Nigeria's capital market. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Mr. Taiwo.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. The chairman and board. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Good morning, all.
Morning, sir. We can hear you.
All right. The chairman and board of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, the management of Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, the leadership of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange Campus Network, distinguished industry stakeholders, young professionals and students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. I am honored to address you today at the Lagos Commodity and Futures Exchange Campus Network Conference 2026. I commend Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange and the Lagos Commodity Future and Future Exchange Campus Network for this strategic initiative focused on equipping young Nigerians with the knowledge, exposure, and mindset required to succeed in today's capital market. I bring you warm greetings from the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria, the apex regulator of the Nigerian capital market. Why this conversation matters? We are gathered at a defining moment in Nigeria's economic history. Across the world, capital markets have moved beyond being places where securities are traded. They now play a central role in economic transformation by mobilizing long-term capital, support innovation, enhancing transparency, and creating wealth. For Nigeria, the capital market is not optional to development, it is essential. We are a nation where young people are skilled, connected, and ambitious, yet often constrained by limited access to opportunity and long-term financing. Addressing this gap requires strong, inclusive, and trusted capital markets that connect savings to productive investment across the economy. The future of capital markets. Globally, capital markets are being reshaped by powerful forces, and Nigeria is already experiencing their impact. Technology and digitalization have lowered entry barriers. Today, many young Nigerians follow market movements, learn about investments, and participate in financial activities using their mobile phones. This shift is changing who participates in the market and how they do so. Sustainability and responsible investing are also gaining ground. Investors are increasingly interested in projects that support renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, and inclusive infrastructure areas that are highly relevant to Nigeria's development needs. At the same time, commodities and derivatives markets are becoming more important as tools for price stability, risk management, and economic planning. Nigeria cannot afford to remain on the silence of these global trends. Nigeria's capital market and economic transformation. Nigeria's capital market plays a strategic role in capital formation, risk management, and wealth creation. Critical sectors such as infrastructure, agriculture, manufacturing, and technology require long-term funding that goes beyond short-term bank financing. Capital markets provide that pathway. For example, structured commodities trading enables farmers to receive fair prices, reduces uncertainty in income, and encourages investment in storage and processing. This directly supports food security and rural economic participation. Platforms like the Lagos Commodities and Future Exchange play a key role in linking Nigeria's productive sectors to finance in an organized and transparent manner. When capital markets function effectively, savings are transformed into investment, businesses expand sustainably, and jobs are created. Technology, the game changer. Technology is reshaping the capital market landscape at an unprecedented pace. Digital trading platforms, fintech innovations, data analytics, and emerging technologies such as blockchain and artificial intelligence are redefining market operations and compliance processes. Today, market participation is no longer limited to physical trading floors or large institutions. However, innovation must always be matched with strong governance. Technology will expand access, but it must also protect investors and preserve market integrity. Trust remains the foundation upon which sustainable markets are built. The finance professional of the future must therefore combine technical competence with ethical judgment. Career pathways for future finance leaders. The capital market ecosystem offers a wide range of career opportunities that extend far beyond traditional roles. Young Nigerians can pick careers in securities and commodities trading, asset management, regulation, and compliance, fintech development, sustainability advisory, financial research, market infrastructure, and policy formulation. Importantly, the modern capital market values adaptability. Careers will evolve, roles will change, and new opportunities will emerge. Continuous learning, analytical thinking, professionalism, and integrity will remain critical to long-term success. A message to young Nigerians, to the students and young professionals participating today, the future of Nigeria's capital market will be shaped by your choices, your values, and your leadership. Platforms like the Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange Campus Network are preparing you not just to participate in the market, but to contribute meaningfully to national development. I encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities, seek mentorship, develop relevant skills, and approach your careers with discipline and purpose. The transformation of our economy will not be driven by policy alone, but by people who understand that finance must serve the real economy. Conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria's economic transformation depends on strong institutions, credible markets, and capable leadership. If we embrace innovation, deepen our commodity markets, strengthen transparency, and uphold robust regulation, Nigeria's capital market will remain a powerful engine of growth and stability. The future of finance in Nigeria is promising, and it is being shaped by young leaders like those gathered here today. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a successful and impactful conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful keynote address. What really stood out for me was how you mentioned that the choices, value, and leadership of we future finance leaders is what is going to shape the future of Nigerian capital market. Thank you very much, sir. It was a great honor to have learned from you. So,
you are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So, up next, we'll be having our first speaker, Dr. Ben Eze from the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, to give us a presentation titled Youth Participation Across Capital Markets, Pathways, Skills, and Opportunity. So, who is Mr. Dr. Ben Eze from Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers? Excuse me. So Dr. Bennett Eze is a seasoned scholar, administrator, and entrepreneurship development expert with over 15 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. He currently serves as Head of Research and Development at the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, advancing research and professional capacity in the Nigerian capital market. Dr. Eze has held strategic academic positions, including Director of Academic Planning and Dean at Wesley University, Ondo, and has been a visiting research fellow at the University of Malaysia, Kelantan. He holds a PhD in business administration from Olabisi Onabanjo University and has published nearly 83 scholarly articles while contributing extensively to conferences, seminars, and professional forums. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, sir. Please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Dr. Ben. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Let me confirm the audio quality. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let me maintain the initial protocol because I only have 15 minutes to do a whole lot. And let's see how we cover it in 15 minutes. It will be very, very important to start by notifying you that students and youths in Nigeria have contributed significantly to the growth of this country. Most of us did history in our secondary school days, and you will recall the contributions of Nigerian students towards the attainment of independence. You also recognize the contribution of Nigerian students towards agitating for a better deals from our leaders. So we cannot discountenance the fact that students and youth are key players in Nigeria's socio-economic environment. So today we are looking at youth participation across capital markets in Nigeria, focusing majorly on the pathways, the skills, and the opportunity. So the talking point will be looking at why this matters for Nigeria. We will look at capital market landscape, where are Nigerian youth today, pathway for youth participation, skills that Nigerian youth must develop, opportunities in Nigeria capital market, and roles of Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. So let's quickly look at these infographics so you can see Nigerian youth reality. So as of today, Nigeria has one of the youngest population globally. So the bulk of the population of Nigeria are youth. So what does that imply? It implies that more than half of the working class are equally youth. So that is a significant figure. So youth represent over half of the working age population. And one wonderful thing about these youths also is the fact that they have adopted digital infrastructure significantly. We are not left out in AI adoption. And even beyond adoption, you also agree with me that a good percentage of these youth are also coming up with solutions that are driven by AI. You can easily see this from fintech. You can see some fintech that are driven by youth. Even some students are also coming up with startups that are AI driven. So meaning we are relatively in a position to compete with the developed economy, courtesy of the wonderful youths that we have in Nigeria. So why does this really matter to the capital market? So the capital market is key for us. You also recall that last year, our president told us that we intend to attain $1 trillion economy. $1 trillion economy. We need it in less than 5 years. What does that imply? The implication is that we have to put in a whole lot of effort as leaders, as students, as workers, as citizens, because the progress of Nigeria as a legal entity will also translate to progress for every one of us, for the youth, for students. And you can see this from what the president did by providing student loan, which is highly commendable. You can also see some level of transformation in the economy that has started yielding fruit, despite the fact that it was totally unpalatable and uncomfortable for almost every Nigerian. But those back on to reposition the country. And last year, we saw serious drop in inflation rates. We also discovered that our foreign reserve went up. Now we're talking of over $50 billion, meaning we can comfortably finance our import for almost for over a year, which is a very good one. And our GDP is also growing, which translates to the economy growing. You might not have been seeing the impact. These things also take time. Macro will translate to micro. Micro will also translate to macro. So the macro environmental parameters of the country is doing well, and it is anticipated that 2026 will also be a very good year for the country. So Nigeria capital market landscape. So what are the key institutions you see? We have exchanges. The exchanges, you'll see the likes of Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange. You see the likes of Nigeria Exchange, which used to be known as Nigeria Stock Exchange. We also have FMDQ and so many other exchanges. The key regulator in this sector is the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission. Am I still audible, please? Confirm, please. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. So the key regulator is SEC. However, some players in the market are also regulated by CBN and Nigeria Insurance Commission. So like the banks are also regulated by CBN. But the entity that regulates the capital market is known as SEC, that is Security and Exchange Commission. So, and the current market characteristics, we have retail participation, like people like you, people like me that buys shares of 5,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million. We have institutional investors. We have companies that invest in the markets. So, and recently you would have seen the growth of digital platform. So many people are now buying stock using digital means in Nigeria. So if you now look at the investors' composition in Nigeria, the highest is institutional investors, and that is why they drive the market. Then we now have the retail investors. The youth are not really doing very much in the market. And this is disheartening because this market does not require too much money from us. And like Mr. Kriye said, during the introductory aspect of this program, that the essence of such financial education is to ensure that the students, the youth, don't fall victim to fraudulent schemes, fraudulent investment scheme. We can all recall what happened with CBET. I was still in the university lecturing. I know some of my students that actually had issues with CBET. So they lost their money. The savings that they've been putting together, whenever their parents send money to them, the savings that they've been putting together, most of them invested it in CBET. Why? Because they lack financial education. It's a different thing for you to be educated. You are literate, you can write, you can read. But financial literacy is another ball game entirely. You must know that when somebody is telling you that if you invest 100 naira, I will give you 200 naira in 3 months, you should know that it is a scam and it is a Ponzi scheme, because what they use in paying you is the money they get from new entrants. And the very moment they don't have more people coming in comparison with what they have to pay out, it will go under. It will go under. So that is how it works. So there is high need for us to educate the youth and the students so that they can easily spot this wonderful opportunity in the stock market. Because this is a market where you can commence your investment with just 3,000 naira. You can register with a broker. Most brokers they will open your CSS account for you. They will commence business with you for just 1,000 naira. They are not charging you anything. So you can say, okay, I want to buy so stock worth of 1,000 naira. The same thing for the commodity market. And I was very happy when I saw the advert of Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange, where they are planning that very soon, you can also buy gold with 50 naira. They want to break it down into units where everybody will be able to participate. We can all recall what gold did in 2025. Gold performed wonderfully in 2025. And we have some other commodities that are also doing very well. And this is a very good opportunity where you can invest your money with little risk. Unlike you investing your money in Ponzi scheme. So let's rush. Then, where are Nigerian youth today? Where are we? You know, I said something during the introductory aspect that Nigerian youth are one of the best in the world, because in terms of digital education, our youth are highly skilled. In terms of AI deployment and adoption, they have adopted it and they are still adopting it. And beyond that, what now distinguishes Nigerian youths from every other country is the fact that beyond that, we are now using AI to solve problems. And that is why you see a lot of Nigerian youth coming up with health solutions using AI. Some are coming up with financial solutions using AI. If not for the fact that if I mention some name, it might constitute advert for them. I would have mentioned some youth-driven fintech, youth-driven health solution, youth-driven agricultural solution that are operational in the country today. So where do these people feature predominantly in? So you will see youth majorly in cryptos and digital assets. The bulk of our youth are active in cryptos and digital assets. You see our youth in forex. You see them in informal investment groups. At times they come together, form an investment group and see how they can advance it. And you see them in entrepreneurship and startup. Like I rightly mentioned earlier on that, we have a whole lot of startups, particularly startups that are technologically driven, AI driven. You see a whole lot of youth that are highly involved in such activity. Then low engagement. You see very, very insignificant number of youths in comparison with the number we have. You know, as of today, we are over 230 million. So when we say the youth constitute more than half of that, we are saying the youth are over 130 million. So that is the perspective I want you to look at it from. So you see very significant number in comparison with the total number of youths that we have.
Hello, everyone. I'm sure we'll just give Dr. Ben a minute and he'll be back.
All right, hello everyone. So he's logging in again. He just got disconnected, but he's coming in again. So just 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you very much. Like I said, Dr. Ben is joining again. In the meantime, if you have questions or there's something you're already learning about the session, please feel free. I have started getting messages already about the session, and it's, I'm excited. So if you have questions or you want to reach out to the exchange or the LCN, the campus network, please do that already. You can start dropping in the comments. All right, so Dr. Ben is back, so I will hand over to him again. Thank you.
So Mr. Priya, is it better now?
Yes, it is.
Can you hear me
Thank
now?
you, sir. I can hear you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So our esteemed participants, please, I'm so sorry. It should be our network challenge. So that is also another business opportunity. Data is key. Data is everything. So our wonderful youth and students should also look at how to make our experience better data-wise. So can anybody assist me in recalling where you stop hearing me? Because I have less than 5 minutes so that we can quickly wrap up the session. Can I get that feedback?
I think you were talking about the youths, what they're doing in tech, and you talked about not disclosing or advertising for any specific
Okay.
company. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. So let me quickly run through that. So we have a whole lot of startups, technologically driven, AI-driven startup, particularly in the fintech space, health solution, agri solution, that are doing wonderfully well. However, our youth are not investing in commodities and future markets. Our youth are not investing significantly in listed equities. Our youth are not investing significantly in the bond and treasury bills. And youth are also investing significantly in mutual fund and equity traded funds. So that is the challenge. And these are wonderful investment opportunities. And the reason why it is even disheartening is the fact that all these investment windows are avenues you can invest as little as 1,000 naira. In commodity and future exchange, you can invest for as low as 5,000 naira. And I'm happy with the ad where the Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange is looking at the possibility of coming up with gold solution where you can invest with 50 naira, so break it down into units and all that. By so doing, everybody can benefit from the gold boom. We can all recall what happened last year. So the same thing for equities. You can invest with as little as 1,000 naira. And I also mentioned the fact that, and this thing is not complicated, just the way you open your bank account. Approach any broker. If you check Lagos Commodity Exchange and Future Exchange website, you see registered brokers on their platform. Approach any of them. They will open a CSS account for you and you start buying. CSS account is like your normal bank account where you warehouse all your stock. So these things are very, very easy, particularly for the youth. These are things you can do easily and it won't really affect you. So what about the pathways? Now, we must commend Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange as well as a campus and network for coming up with this campus network initiative. Because with what you're doing, invariably we're going to attract a whole lot of students and youth into the market. And once you attract them now, they will get interested in the market for as long as possible. So the idea of teaching capital market related courses, in universities we have some courses that are GSTs, general studies like entrepreneurship. So we can also have something that has to do with investment and security as part of general courses, because everybody must have an idea of what investment is and what securities is key. And with that, we can do away with our youths, our students investing in fraudulent scheme where they usually lose their money. Over 1 trillion naira was lost with CBEX, and the bulk of the investors in CBEX are youths and students. So, but with financial information, financial education, you can't invest in any scheme that is promising you something that is unattainable. So these are key, these are germane, these are not things we can afford to joke with. And there's also need for us to get involved, which CIS is doing it. During NYC orientation, during the orientation campaign activity, you can go there, educate them about financial literacy. Then digital investment tool. So these are some of the pathways. We have, like I said earlier on, almost all the brokerage firms you see, most of them have app. So you don't even need to go to their office. From your phone, you can deposit it to your account. You can give them instruction to buy this and buy that. Even some brokers have gone a step further by allowing you to even buy on your own from your phone using their app. So if you visit the website of Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange, you will see all the registered brokers. Contact any of them, because all of them are also regulated. Contact any of them, get to deal with them. You can do this thing from the comfort of your home, comfort of your campus. You are not living anywhere. You can be trading using a broker in Lagos while you are in Adamawa, using their app. So these things are available. So there is no reason whatsoever why all of us should not be actively in the market, because the market has been done in such a way where everybody can get involved easily. There is no unnecessary bottlenecks. The only issue is just KYC. Let us see a valid means of identification. And why is the government doing that? Why is SEC interested in that? Why are the exchanges interested in that? Because we want clean money in the market. We don't want somebody to use the market as an avenue to launder money. We don't want stolen wealth to find their way in the market. And that is why KYC is important. KYC is know your customer. So when they say upload your ID card, your BVN, they want to use it to know who you are. Because the way our country is structured now, with your BVN, they know who you are. With your NIN, they know who you are. So let us be sure that this money is legit money. This money is not coming from fraudulent activity, not coming from kidnappers, not coming from terrorists, not coming from internet scammers. So that is the essence of KYC. And once that, it usually takes less a day or two max. So you have your CSS account, you start trading, and the opportunities are endless. So what are the skills that Nigeria youth should go for in order to participate actively in this market? The first one is financial literacy. And we said it will help you understand equities, it will help you understand commodities, it will help you understand futures, it will help you understand bond. When you buy shares, we're talking about equity. When you buy commodities, or you place your money for a future commodity, for example, the gold. So when you do that, you are dealing with commodity and future exchange. When you decide to buy government bond, when you decide to buy treasury bills, that's what we call fixed interest schemes, then the commodities and future are under a broad term that we call derivatives. So there are some other things that falls under derivative, but they're under derivatives. So there's also need for you to have little data analytical skills, little one. You should be able to know this company that I want to invest in. If you're buying equity, for example, what is your profit like last year? The profit, the annual report that they released last, or for the last quarter, what is your profit like? What is your revenue like? You compare to previous year. These things are not difficult for you to do. You can do it. So it helps you to take smart decisions. You're not just buying. You are buying because you know this company, based on their annual report, they performed far, far better than their performance in 2024. Their performance in 2025 is about 100% higher than that of 2024. So what does that imply? This company has got value. I can invest my money in this company. So you also look at risk management. So what kind of a person are you? Are you looking at short term? Are you looking at long term? Do you just want to be buying shares as a student so that by the time you graduate and probably when you get to like 40 after 20 years, you want your worth to be so amount? So your goal, your investment goal will determine your risk appetite. Yeah, if you are the type that doesn't really like much risk, you can consider fixed income instruments. If you're also looking at limited risk, commodity and future are also key. They're also good with limited risk. So these are things you can easily read up and you should be good with it. Then ethics and compliance. You, as an investor in the market, you must be ethical and you must also comply with the rule. And like the one I mentioned, your KYC, and there are some funds that immediately it enters the market, it will be flagged. So we are expecting that we are only going to have legitimate students, legitimate people legitimate youth that are into legitimate activities, students that are into legitimate activities, Nigerians that are into legitimate activities. We're only going to have such categories of people in our market. Then digital competence. So if you intend to trade using app, there's a particular app now that brought about 300,000 youth to the market last year. I can't just mention the name, but these things are everywhere. There's a particular app. So if you're also looking at app, okay, let me trade with app. Like I said earlier on, most of these brokers have app. Most of those apps are designed for you to deposit. When you deposit, you either upload your proof of payment or you deposit via their app. And when you do that, you send a mandate, what you want them to buy. Some of them have gone a step further by providing you with access to trade from the app. I know some brokers that does that. So you can quickly carry out one or two research. Then opportunities in Nigeria capital market. Now, because we are addressing students, my expectation is that we are 66. Out of these 66, 80% should be students. So over 40 of us should be students. So since we are addressing students, let us look at the employment pathway. So part of the opportunities that the Nigeria capital market has provided, apart from the fact that it has provided avenues for companies to raise money through sales of equities, it has also provided opportunity for agriculturalists, miners, countries to sell their mining output and their agricultural products through the likes of commodities and future exchange. If you know what commodity and future exchange is doing for the nation, you will commend them. It also provides avenue for the nation to grow. The capital market is contributing significantly to the growth of the nation. Apart from that, as a student, part of what you can benefit from the market, if you have the right knowledge, is the fact that it can provide employment pathway for you. You can pick up a job in commodities and future exchange. Lagos Commodities and Future Exchange is one. We have so many other ones. You can also pick up employment in Nigeria Exchange, in FMDQ, and so many other exchanges. You can decide to become a broker by joining the Charter Institute of Stockbrokers. You can become a broker. You can become an asset manager. We have over 150 brokerage firms in Nigeria. We have so many asset management firms in Nigeria. You can decide to become an asset manager. You can decide to become an investment advisor. You can decide to even work with the compliance and regulatory arm, like our first speaker from SEC. You can decide to work with them with the knowledge that you have. You can even decide to become an investment banker. Based on what we have discussed so far, you can even say, based on my knowledge of the Nigeria capital market, let me come up with a fintech solution, like what a particular popular app is doing. That app has provided a means for youth, for students like you, to invest in our exchanges. So you can also decide to come up with such application. You can decide to partner with some colleagues of yours in your school or colleagues of yours in other schools to come up with a fintech solution, with an application that Nigerians and even Africans can deploy in investing in Nigerian markets. Then there's what we call environment, social, and governance. It's an evolving component that most firms and most nations are paying a whole lot of attention to. So you can also look at this investment in equities, in commodities. How are we going to design it in such a way that we are not damaging the environment? How are we going to design it in such a way that we are contributing towards the revival of the environment? How are we going to do it in such a way that we're going to reduce carbon emission? So your interest is, how do we make the earth better? The earth is getting warmer. How can we slow the warmness of the earth? How can we reverse the negative effects of climate change? So we have some investment scheme like green investment and other. We have some investment scheme that are designed to support activities that will make the earth better, that will better preserve our environment. So you can decide to take that opportunity also. Then investment opportunity for students, for youth. So you can decide to invest in commodity and future exchange. You decide to invest in commodity and future products, which is what we call derivatives. That is broad term. You can decide, okay, let me, like the gold that Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange is planning to further break down. No, now they have it, but the price might be out of the reach of the students. But they now want to break it down such that you can get a unit for 3 cents from the advert, which is just about 50 naira. So meaning with your 1,000, with your 500 naira, you can get involved. You can even brag about it. I have gold. I have so number units of gold. So you can take advantage of that. You can also take advantage of equities by buying shares. And like I informed you earlier on, these things are not difficult because all you need to do is on the website of Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange, you can easily spot so many brokers. Approach any of them, or you get in contact with Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange. Approach any of them, they will register a CSS account for you, carry out the proper KYC, which is usually less than 2 days. After that, you can start trading. So you can also decide to invest in exchange traded fund and mutual fund. So we have some companies that pool funds together, invest collectively, and they share whatsoever comes out of it. Then we have some real estate investment trusts. We have some firms also that package properties, real estate deals, and they break it down into units, like what Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange is trying to do with the gold. So they break it into units. You see a very big estate, you have some unit of it. So every year you are sure that as the real estate business is doing well, you're also doing well. Then we have fixed income instruments that you can invest in, like bond. You see federal government bond, 18%. The implication is that if you invest 1 million naira, that is about 180,000 naira. So you see treasury bills also, treasury bills 15.5, 14.5. So the implication is that if you invest 1 million naira, that's about 145,000 naira per year. It's fixed. And the beautiful thing about treasury bills is that you even get your interest ahead. So if you invest today, for example, between today and tomorrow, you have your interest. So these are wonderful opportunities you can employ. Then finally, I believe I have less than 1 minute. So the Charter Institute of Stockbrokers is also there for you, because we know that we have a lot of students in Nigeria that are getting it wrong investment-wise. Most of them are investing in cryptos without knowledge of crypto. Crypto is not bad, but you must be knowledgeable about it. Most of them are investing in American stock that they know nothing about. Most of them are buying stock in Nigeria that they know nothing about. Most of them are investing in Ponzi scheme. They will tell them, bring 10,000 naira, you get 20,000 naira in 1 month. They will put their money because they lack this financial knowledge. The Charter Institute of Stockbrokers have now decided to come up with a special package for students, for secondary school leavers and university students, polytechnic students, college of education students generally. And that package is what we call Certified Securities and Investment Support Specialists, CSISS. So you will write an examination. After the examination, they will certify you as a security and investment support specialist. So it used to be a diploma program. So it has now been upgraded in such a way that with that, you obtain your certificate and you can start working in any investment or security related firm as a support staff. You can also decide to run the program because you want to acquire the knowledge, because part of what they do is how to analyze statement of accounts, where to invest your money, what you have to look at before you buy a particular commodity, what you have to look at before you invest in any future instrument, what you have to look at before you invest in equities. So these are some of the things you will learn. So you can even decide to enroll for the program for the knowledge so that you'll be able to invest, and it's relatively very cheap. If you visit our website, cisiNigeria.org, all the information are there. So these are some of the things you can take advantage of. And as at a professional institute that is chartered by an act of the parliament in Nigeria, we also regulate our members. And any form of unethical conduct by a member usually goes with sanction. After the normal setting up of panel and everything, the member is found guilty, such a member will be sanctioned. So as a result, our members they prioritize ethical governance. So apart from that, we usually come up with programs. At times we partner with Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange, come up with capacity building programs, continuous professional development. We provide investment education like what Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange is doing. We come up with policy advocacy and advisory role for the government, for the regulators and all that. With market development and innovation, we also advise the government and the regulators and even stockbrokers on how they can better develop the market and come up with some innovativeness. So you being a member, because the very moment you register as a student, you are a member. You are a student member. So it also provides avenue for networking. It provides avenue for even international linkages. So finally, we do our best to uphold market discipline. So I don't know what you are waiting for. I believe that immediately after this session, by 12:20, we should be done. Quickly reach out to Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange and start taking advantage of the numerous opportunities that Nigeria has provided for us. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very enlightening presentation. Please put your hands together for Dr. Eze. Thank you very much, sir. It was a great privilege to learn from you. Thank you very much. And okay, if you have any question, please let's drop it in the chat box. Kindly drop any questions you might have in the chat box. Thank you very much, sir. So just to lighten things up a bit, I would like to ask a few questions about what Dr. Ben has been talking to us all about. You know, he mentioned career pathways in finance, and I really learned so much more career opportunities that I didn't know were available before. I really learned about those. So he mentioned career pathways, the skills we need to develop, how we can invest with even as low as 1,000 naira. I never knew anyone can invest with as low as 1,000 naira. I thought you need like up to 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira to invest. But with this, like I really learned a lot. So my fellow students, I'm sure you have all learned so much as myself. So I'll be asking some questions. So Dr. Ben mentioned career pathways in finance. Can someone drop any of the career pathway you mentioned that I can remember in the comment section? I'll be watching. Please, let's type it in the comment section. You mentioned a lot of career pathways. This is to ensure that we all participate. Stockbroking. Thank you very much, Abdullah and Adibola. Yes, you mentioned stockbroking, investment banking. I'm very sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, but thank you very much. You mentioned investment banking. You also mentioned financial advisory. Thank you very much, Shego. Abdullah, thank you very much. Okay, mutual fund is not, I don't think it was part of the career pathways. It was actually about the investment pathways, I guess. Like mutual funds are like investment products that you can invest in. Thank you very much. It shows you were listening. Yeah, you mentioned asset management as well as fintech solution. Thank you very much. So aside this, you also mentioned skills that we Nigerian youth have to build to ensure that we can actually participate in this market. So what are those skills? Did anyone listen to that part? What are those skills? Data analytics skills. Thank you very much. Yes, he did mention that. He mentioned that building data analytics skills can help us, analyze companies' financial statements to know whether their profit is increasing or decreasing before we invest. Because a lot of people just like invest in companies without even knowing what they actually do and their financial health. Yes, he also mentioned financial literacy. Thank you very much, Lanre and Adebola. Ethics and compliance. Yes, he mentioned that as well, and risk management. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I hope we are all enjoying ourselves because the conference is just starting, like we are not done yet. I'm sure we have all learned so much since we have started, but we still have more speakers coming in to speak with us. So let us stay tuned. Okay, so can anyone drop the highlights, or let me say what has really stood out for you from everything that has been discussed this morning, from the keynote address to the speech on youth participation in financial markets? What really stood out to you? If you have been jotting, you'd like really know the key points or the highlights that stood out to you. Please drop it in the chat section. Thank you. Are we typing already? Because I'm not seeing anything yet. I hope you are all typing already. Or do you want to tell me that nothing has stood out for you since morning? Okay. I want to believe we are still typing. So while we are typing, I will tell us what has really stood out for me. Starting from the keynote address, what really stood out for me was how Mr. Taiwo mentioned the relevance of we Nigerian youth in capital markets, and how the skills and abilities we build today is what will determine the future of Nigerian capital markets. For the second speech, what really stood out for me was, okay, let me give the participants opportunity to speak as well. So what stood out to you? If you don't want to type, if there's anything that stood out to you, you can raise up your hand and you'll be given permission to speak. So what has really stood out to you since the beginning of this conference? I am waiting. Hello, can anyone still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, thank you very much, Halima, for your comments. You said what stood out for you was the CSI diploma, or did you mean the CIS diploma, which you didn't know existed? Yes, in fact, I also didn't know it existed. The only thing I knew about was the ACS certification. That's the associates. Sorry. So yeah, I thought the only DSCS was what was available. I never knew about the CIS diploma. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, amazing. That's an interesting point. Zunurain, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to I didn't mean to pronounce your name like that. I'm very sorry. I hope I got it right. So he said, for me, it is the idea that commodities like gold and real estate properties can be fragmented to improve market participation. That was what stood out to you. That's a very wonderful point. Thank you. Let's keep dropping our highlights for the session, please. I'm still here with everyone. Let's keep dropping our highlights. And I would like to read as much as I can read out before we move on to the next session. Thank you. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So okay, thank you very much once again, Alima. You said that you would love to know more about it, and also you love how he made reference to things that could spark up an innovative idea, like when he talked about the network. Okay, I'm guessing you are saying that you love to know more about commodity. Oh, sorry, the CIS diploma. Yes, you can definitely go to the CIS website to learn more about that. I'm also going to visit the website after this session. Thank you very much. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for still staying with us till now. So up next, we'll be having a goodwill message that will be given by Miss Ugochi Obi and Mr. Abimbola Babalola from NGX Academy. Join me in welcoming both of them. Thank you very much. Please react with the clapping emoji. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma and Sir, for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Quadira. Did I get that? Did I try?
You tried, Ma.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. It's been awesome. Hi, everybody. So if you can hear me and you can see me, could you please use an emoji and give me something, a lovely emoji that's showing how you feel right now. Just please send it out out here, and let's see, just to be sure that you can see me, or write something. Thank you, Zinuren, for that. Oh my goodness, Ben, I see you. Thank you, Nkechi and Adebola. I see you all. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Here at the NGX Academy, I'm excited to hear what's been happening and the opportunities. And so far, what has been said, if you are not in the capital market, you are missing. And for you in school right now, trying to understand what to do, or you already have somewhere, think about it. There are not many people in the capital market. If you want to stand out, if you want to be different, if you want to make an impact in the lives, not just locally, but also internationally, get into the capital market and take this seriously. So this avenue that the LCN, it's a beautiful opportunity. Get your friends into it as well. It gives you a connection to everybody in the capital market. So you'll agree with me that you're seeing different people, and why are they here? Apart from making money, I'm sure that one thing on your mind is how to make money, how to, I want to be like the quotes, Dangote's and your $10. Where are they? check, where are they? Where do you find them? What are they doing in the capital market? Right? They are making waves in the capital market. Dangote is going to come soon and come to list. So it's important that you begin to think in that line, whether it's being participatory or you're getting into the mix of having to, be part of those that make it happen in the capital market. And at the NGX, which is the NGX, which is Nigerian Exchange, which was previously known as the Nigerian Stock Exchange, but now we have demutualized and it's called Nigerian Exchange because it is a multi-asset exchange. So we're doing so many things, which you'll get to hear in a bit. And you can see that everybody is entwined, right? Is it in the commodities? Is it in the equities or in the fixed income aspect or debt aspect? You get to be involved and make waves. So I'm quite excited. And that's why I'm also going to introduce somebody to you who has been in the capital market forever. We call him the Methuselah of the capital market, right? Where he built his career right from the start, right, up till now. And he is Mr. Abimbola Babalola. We call him Bablo. And he is the head products and trading and products at the NGX. Bablo, are you here? He will give you an insight into not just how to make money, but also how to grow in the capital market. Okay, yes, they're showing you something to show that we have trainings which can help you become knowledgeable about the capital market. Dr. Ben talked about if you don't have the knowledge, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to go into the wrong thing. Before anybody is telling you anything, even your stockbroker is telling you something, you've got to have a bit of knowledge so that you also listen and act well. So at the NGXX Academy, we offer programs. We work with international qualifying bodies to also, certify, give you qualifying qualifications to be able to operate in the capital market. So we have this course that he's projecting, which if you're coming into that course, there will be a discount. A discount is given to you as a student. Mr. Bablo, are you here right now?
Yes, thank you very much,
Fantastic. Please go on.
And let me congratulate the organizers of this event on behalf of the management and leadership of the Nigerian Exchange Limited. We want to congratulate you. And I think I've listened to some of the program from inception. We have somebody that is going to represent us on the panel so that all your questions can be answered. But the reality is this, one of the mandates of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and also in the capital market is for us to provide capital for people to be able to raise capital, company, government, to raise capital for developmental purpose. And for investors, you are able to provide capital, plan your life, use some of these instruments as a means of solving your financial challenges or financial plan or financial objective. So what I will be telling you this afternoon, in summary, I've listened to the various lectures, is just to advise you that please take financial literacy very, very important and move closer to the market, you understand, so that at any point in time, you understand what is going on in the economy, you are able to manage your money very well. And as soon as you, even as you are a student, start investing, understand the market, move closer, make it a point of duty that you visit the website, that you listen to some of the companies' announcement that is coming up. For those of us that are in social sciences or in sciences, pick special interest in some of these companies. And it's simple, it's not complex. Like the previous doctor said, before you invest in anything, commodity companies, what are these companies doing? What are the services or the products that they offer? You understand? Get to understand them. How acceptable is this product? Who are the people that are using this product? Once you understand all those things, then the next thing is you start looking at who are the managers managing and operating this company, corporate governance. Once you look at the corporate governance, you look at the financials of this company, But like we also advise, don't invest alone. You can form a group, you can relate with your financial advisors, ask them questions so that you can understand and appreciate it, so that at the end of the day, you are able to use the market, to achieve your financial objectives and also your financial goals. So I wish you success, and I will tell you, if there is any time you are looking for to get involved in knowing what is happening in the capital market, I think the best time was yesterday, and the next one is now. So move closer to the market, ask questions, start getting used to it. And like the previous speaker said, when you're done with your fact, the best way could even be that as you are writing your thesis, for your studies or seminars, start picking topics in the capital market, start moving closer. It is data driven, it is scientific, it has a sequence and that you can master. And before you realize it, you become an expert, you start accumulating wealth, you start creating wealth, and you start enjoying the economy and also benefiting from it. So I wish you success, in your as you continue with the program. Thank you very much for giving your time to participate in this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pablo, for that. Padera, we're done and we are happy. We're going to speak more during the panel, and also to mention that I'm sure that Coronation is going to speak next, where we have partnered with the Academy to even produce courses online for them. So we are glad about this, and indeed looking forward to having more people in the market, trading in all commodities and the different products of the capital markets. Back to you, Padera. I hope I got it. Padera. Hi, Padera, can you hear me? You're muted.
Presentation. Thank you, Mr. Bimbola. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the next thing we're having on our agenda is another goodwill message to be delivered by Miss Mercy in. Thank you. Miss Mercy, please, are you here with us, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Hi, Kadira, good morning. Yes, I can hear you. 1 minute, let me quickly put on my camera. Hey. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on the call this morning. My name is Mercy. I work with Coronation Vaults, and honestly, I'd love to put up a slide, but my senior colleagues have done a lot to explain what we have in the industry, things that are applicable, where you can put in your money and all of those things. So not to bore you, so that we have a little bit of, engagement. I'm going to quickly tell us about the Coronation Academy. Ugochi had mentioned it when she said there's a partnership we had. We had put out a super course sometime last year. We're looking to do that again with the Academy, and then, make these things available for youngsters to learn, to practice for free. But for the course of this conversation today, I'm largely going to be talking about the Coronation Fantasy League. So I'm going to share my screen and do a little walkthrough. Can you please confirm when you can see my screen?
I can see your screen now.
Oh, great. All right. So, okay. Hello, everybody, again. So the Coronation Investment Academy is a platform where you learn how to invest. The Coronation Fantasy League is a platform where you practice how to invest. Somebody's hand is up. I don't know. Is that intentional? Kadira, do you want to take that? Somebody's hand is up. I don't know. Should I continue?
Yes, you can continue, ma. After
Okay.
this session, is going to be
Oh,
able
that's
to
great.
ask the
That's
question.
fine then. So the Coronation Fantasy League is a platform where you learn to invest. You practice basically. There's so much around bonds, there's so much around mutual funds, around the Nigerian equities markets, buy shares, sell shares, do this, do that. There's so much around it. And then because we are worried that it gets to a point where people become overwhelmed with information overload, we've gone ahead to create this platform where you can start practicing as you learn. Today, for instance, you've learned about how to get into the equities market, how easy it is for you to begin. So you want to start, but you don't have that money, you don't have 3K yet, but you want to, have a feel of what it's going to be like. You can come to this platform. My colleague is going to drop the link to the platform on the site, and she's also going to drop a code you could use to sign up so that we know that you are from the LCN, and then we can make certain preferences made available to you. All right, so I'm just going to quickly log in. I already have a profile. If I didn't, I'd have been asked to sign up. I want to do a quick rundown of the platform. Okay, so for you, because you are new, you're going to be asked to sign up. Because I already have an account, I just go ahead to sign in. And then, okay, this is what it looks like. We'll have a couple of things on here. There's a dashboard where you can easily see everything you have. You see pop-ups, notifications. This is a competition. This is Valentine's Special Love and Profits. It's a competition. So we have competitions monthly so that we encourage that investing habit, right? So we have for schools now, for instance, we could create a league. We could create a competition, head-to-head tournament, and all of those things. So people from this school, take University of Ilorin, for instance, will go against people from University of Lagos, and then there are actual money to be won. But for this game, once you sign up, you get, look up here, you get virtual funds of 100 million that you can start investing with. Recall that it's virtual, it's just for practice purposes. You can choose to buy whatever it is, you can invest in mutual funds, you can buy shares. I'm just going to run through the tabs one after the other. So this is the dashboard. Say I was to trade, if I want to buy or sell, I come here and just give it a minute to load. And then I can literally pick everything available on the exchange. These are a list of stocks. Literally everything on the exchange with their current prices as is displayed on any trading portal. You see that here. You can, if for instance you are following some sort of recommendations, you can pick whatever it is you want to pick. Let me go with step flat. So I can decide to input the number of units I want. And then it brings me to this page. I see that I'm buying Seplats. I see the quantity I'm buying. I see the price I'm buying at. I see what my total consideration is, and I proceed to pay. This is what the typical flow for is when you want to buy into an equities. So this is it. If I complete purchase, it's debited. We have to really, all of these things. That's one. There are other things you could buy on here. You could shop. We try to simulate real life situations as possible. If I have 100 million, of course, I'm not going to spend everything on equities. I like to, pay the body that works, So I could decide to buy one or two things here. If I have investment that are grown, I could decide to put my funds in. There are other things. See, there are artworks. You could buy arts. You could purchase literally anything you want on here, provided you are making the money somewhere else. That is on the investment bit. This is a snapshot of clubs. These are the current clubs we have. Say I'll work with Spray. If we're to create something for LCN, then you're going to have a club where members of LCN can sign up to, and then we can create games for you guys. And then you play, you win money and all of those things. Money that you can use for real life investing, by the way. I'd like to mention that. We have competitions. I mentioned earlier that this is what we have. This is what we completed last year. When we create competitions, they are open for a period. You can sign in, you can register before it starts. Once it has started, you'll be expected to stay in the game until the end. If it is head-to-head competitions against schools. This was what we ran. I think it was a test at the time. We had run this for a period, and then the winner takes all. That was the format for this particular one. We have a leaderboard. This is this is how you know what you're doing, where you rank with respect to other people. What are they doing? What are you doing? How are you making money? And then right now, you're able to even have a peep to see what this person is buying, what they're selling. But as we make iterations, we're going to make that a little bit not as visible as, as it is currently. It's good for people to know what they're investing in. It's good for people to understand their investment. If you want to ask questions, you can always ask questions. But it is usually not advisable to just do a verbatim copy of someone else's portfolio because, one, you don't know their risk appetite. You don't know the terms of their own investments, what they're trying to do, what they want to do with the money. You don't know their duration, right? So it is never ideal to copy somebody's portfolio or somebody's trading activities verbatim and replicate that. It's good to always have conversations with your stockbrokers, your investment advisors, and all of those. So I don't know if I missed out on anything, but this is what it looks like. What we do is every month we create a game. People play the game, winners emerge, and you stand a chance to win as depending on what the winning prize is for the month. I think we ran for January, February. We're running one that ends tomorrow, and the league for tomorrow, the one for tomorrow, we're looking to have at least 20 winners. So top 20 people are going to have actual cash prizes paid to them as well done for playing the game and playing it so well. We now trust that you know what you're going to do if we give you this money. So we make it available to you so that you can start actual investing. So I think I've run through everything we have here. Oh, I didn't mention while it is good to put your money in equities, put them in mutual funds, sometimes you might want to hedge, sometimes you might want to even see what this crypto that everybody is talking about. What is this crypto? What is it? If I put money in crypto, how does it affect me? How does it impact my portfolio? So we're going ahead to make that available for you. You have currencies here you could trade in. We have crypto, we have precious metals. So there is gold, there is silver, there is platinum. And then I know I've had a quick chat with Priya, and then we're looking to bring in other things that are available in the commodities market. So as you get familiarized with the organization, you get familiar with the industry and then the platform, we're going to bring in some of these other things so that you can also see what the real life implications of investing in these things, what they are to you. Okay, I think I'm going to stop my presentation here. And I don't know if there are questions. If there are questions, I'll take the questions and then we can move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that amazing presentation, Miss Mercy. It was like very, very interesting to learn about how Coronation teaches students how to invest and also let them practice how to invest with Coronation Fantasy League. I actually used to play it before as well. I put my 100 million. I just bought different stocks of companies that I didn't know what they were doing. And the following week, my money was 70 million. So, but I actually learned my lesson then that I should actually make my research into companies I'm looking to invest in. Thank you very much, ma'am. And so next we'll be having Mr. Benedict Afiemo from Woodland Capital to give us the final goodwill message. Thank you very much, sir. I hope you can hear me, sir.
Kadira, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
I'm very sorry. My apologies. I didn't know I was muted. Thank you very much. Yes, so I was inviting Mr. Benefit Afiemo from Woodland Capital to give us the final goodwill message. If you can hear me, sir, kindly speak. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are,
you are.
sir.
Good afternoon.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Benedict Afiemo. I work with WCN Capital Limited, formerly known as Woodland Capital Markets PLC. So yes, if you search us, you can get us with any of the two names. So thank you for the invite, and I'm very excited to see young people doing their best to not make the mistakes that we made during our time with investing in the wrong areas or not even investing at all. So I charge all of you to invest as early as possible and be as consistent as possible. The secret to growing wealth is no longer a secret. You invest in good assets that generate returns for you, and over time, you will grow your wealth. So I just thought perhaps it might also be beneficial, since WCN Capital is a broker, just to talk a bit about brokerage services, because this is what you will also run into when you are dealing with regulated markets. To note, regulated markets like the LCFE, the Lagos Commodities Futures Exchange, like the Nigerian Exchange, and even the NASD Exchange, they you need the service of a broker in order to access the securities there. So, but what does a broker himself actually do? So, note it, because one thing you want to be able to do is tell valid investment vehicles from fraudulent or unnecessarily risky or unregulated investment vehicles. So brokers are like your messengers. They help you connect to the right channels in an exchange. If you want to buy a particular company or you want to buy a particular commodity, your broker's job is to go to the market and help you fulfill that order. The broker himself does not sell the commodities to you. He buys it from another investor like you, who is also acting through his own broker. The broker's involvement begins and stops at whatever you ask him to do. Now, of course, these days we have digital brokers. So, company like WCM Capital has its brokerage platform. There are other brokers with their own platform. If you go and buy into it, the systems have been automated, but you are still buying through that broker's house, and the stocks will still be all the commodities will still be registered under that broker's house as well. Like, you bought through this broker's house. Those assets remain yours and not the broker's. And should you wish to move to another broker, you can easily move uh, your assets to another broker. Another thing brokers do is they perform ancillary services that may help you with maybe recovering assets that you may have lost, or making adjustments to your brokerage accounts if you want to adjust the name you have on your accounts. You want to recover assets maybe that you no longer have that were purchased uh, when the market was more manual and use certificates, and you want to recover them now so that you can transact on them. These are some of the things that brokers do for you. So note that brokers themselves don't sell you their products; they help you access the markets. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that there aren't brokers that also have asset managers that can sell you their own products. And just give you an idea of some of the lines where they are drawn in the markets, so that you are better able to distinguish who you are talking to and what they should be doing. So with my last few minutes, another thing I also want to talk about is of course, many of the um, speakers, they have talked about getting your savings habits, that is being consistent. You can take a part of your allowances and commit them towards investing. You should also manage your expectations, because that is maybe where a lot of us went wrong. We were looking for fantastic returns. We didn't know whether or not they were they were normal. It is not normal to make 300% or 500% from a riskless investment, which is what those sponsors promised you. There's no risk to it. That is not normal. You know, if you want to know what normal returns are, you can look at what your treasury bill rates are, or what your market index is returning year on year. And it is typical to see fixed income or low risk investments between the 10 to 20% rates, and to see equity investments returning up to 40% per annum. Now, some really growth stocks can grow much beyond that, but it's not something you want to expect um, on a consistent basis. If you manage your expectations, you get better at filtering out improper, unregulated, fraudulent investments. And then finally, commodities, which commodities which we believe has a lot of promise in the ecosystem. You know, of course, commodities can be agricultural, they can be mineral resources, they can be precious metals. It's not just an asset that you buy to store in your portfolio and maybe wait for price returns. Yes, that's something you can do, you know, especially if you are using them to hedge against the economy, or if you expect that there are going to be economic shocks and you want to put your money into things that are more fundamental, that regardless of whatever happens to the economy, you can get a level of protection. You can use commodities for that. But I also want you to know that you can also build a business model on commodities, because this is giving you access to a market that normally you need bulk investments. Normally you need hundreds of millions to play in. Because normally, if you want to buy these things from the informal market, especially raw materials, you need to be coming in with a huge amount of capital. Commodities exchanges scales that down, so even somebody who is just doing research can get a few kilograms of paddy rice and use that for his research. Those of us maybe that were in food and nutritional chemistry, you can get a few kilograms, start designing your own products even as you are young there, and build your own business model with it. So I encourage you to do your research. We are also investment advisors, and most brokers will give you advisory services without charging you extra, just because you are part of their customer. So if you talk to your broker, you can always get extra advice on your commodities trading strategy. So I think my time is up. If you have any other questions, be sure to drop them in the chat box, and we are glad to be part of the community. So, Kudra, thank you very much, and you can please continue.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that enlightening presentation. It was very interesting to learn how WCM Capital allows you to have access to investing. Thank you very much, sir. So very quickly, we'll be moving on to our panel section on career pathways in capital, commodities, and financial markets, to be moderated by Mr. Umar Khalifa Shehu, who is also an LCN campus ambassador. Umar Khalifa Shehu is a final year economics student at Ahmadu Bello University. He serves as Vice President of Alternative Investment and LCN campus ambassador, with strong interest in investment strategy, financial market, and wealth creation in emerging economies. So he'll be moderating the session with professionals from LCFE, SEC, NGX, and CIS and Coronation Wealth. So for LCFE, we'll be having Mrs. Nkechi Obichidi. Mrs. Nkechi Obichidi is a seasoned operations manager, project manager expert, and Chartered Human Resource Professional, currently serving as Head of Operations at the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. She played a pivotal role in the exchange's foundational operations and contributed to the development of key frameworks, rules, and trading systems, supporting landmark products such as the Eco Gold Coin and Eco Rice contract. She oversees core units including asset classes, trading and settlements, capacity building, and communications, driving strategic and operational excellence. Nkechi holds a bachelor degree in pharmacology from University of Lagos and a master's degree in international human resource management from University of the West of England, and also serves as director of projects at Ninos Global Technology. From Security and Exchange Commission, we'll be having Mr. Taiwo again, who has previously speak with us. Mr. Taiwo is a seasoned capital markets professional and currently serves as Head of Corporate Governance and Market Development at the Lagos Zonal Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria. He holds a BSc in Economics from Olabisi Onabanjo University and an MBA from Lagos State University. With experience spanning regulatory operations, finance oversight, and regional leadership at the Ibadan Zonal Office, he brings deep insight into market supervision and governance. He plays a key role in promoting strong corporate governance, investor education, and the overall development of Nigeria's capital market. From NGX Academy, we'll be having Mr. Tony Modi, with over 15 years of financial market experience, with strong expertise in market surveillance, regulatory policy development, and capital market operations. He is currently the team lead market surveillance at NGX Regulation Limited, a subsidiary of NGX Group PLC, where he helps ensure safe and sound capital market institutions in Nigeria. He has served on key committees and project teams, including the NGX Market Surveillance System Development Project and the Intermarket Surveillance Group, and he has contributed to capital market development initiatives across Africa. Tony holds a BSc in Economics from University of Abuja and a Master's in Banking and Finance from University of Lagos, and is a Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and an Associate of ICANN. From the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, we'll be having Dr. Bennett Eze, who is a seasoned scholar, administrator, and entrepreneurship development expert with over 15 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. He currently serves as Head of Research and Development at the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, advancing research and professional capacity in the Nigerian capital market. Dr. Eze has held strategic academic positions, including Director of Academic Planning and Dean at Wellesley University, Ondo, and has been a visiting research fellow at the University of Malaysia, Kelantan. He holds a PhD in Business Administration from Olabisi Onabanjo University and has published 83 scholarly articles while contributing extensively to conferences, seminars, and professional forums. And finally, from Coronation Wealth, we'll be having Ms. Mercy Inweke again. She leads the Product Management and Retail Partnerships team at Coronation Wealth, where she drives initiatives focusing on democratizing access to wealth creation through the digital distribution commitment is reflected in flagship initiatives such as the Coronation Investment Academy and the investment product. At its core, Coronation Wealth is deeply committed to advancing financial literacy and inclusion. This commitment is reflected in flagship initiatives such as the Coronation Investment Academy and the gamified Coronation Fantasy League, which are both designed to provide hands-on learning experiences that empower retail investors to better understand and actively participate in the Nigerian capital market. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, please put your hands together as I welcome all of them for this panel session. Thank you.
can anyone hear me?
Yeah, it's just speak louder. Yeah, I think it's working now.
So I am by name Umar Khalifa Sheikh, LCN Campus. One distinguished guest, respected panelists, everyone joining us. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, please, you have to project your voice, Umar.
This insightful webinar organized by Lagos Commodities and Futures and Team Career Pathways, Capital Commodities and Financial. Having heard of all what the speakers have said today, this conversation is designed to provide clarity, direction, and inspiration, especially to finance enthusiasts who are seeking to understand the opportunity that lies within the Nigerian modern financial ecosystem. On today's panel session, we have the privilege to have distinguished representatives from Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Coronation Wealth, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, the Nigerian Exchange Group. Thank you all for honoring these invitations. So at this juncture, I would like to kindly ask our participants to listen carefully and prepare their question, which will be attended to later in the program. So set up the tune for today's discussion. I would like to start with a broad question to our panelists from Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, who is Dr. Ben Eze. Welcome, sir. So, sir, I would like to direct this question to you. So, Dr. Ben Eze, sir, why is the professional certification important in the financial market?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Okay, so the first thing we have to look at is this. Why is it necessary for one to get certificated? You know, when you talk about some specific profession, like what we do in securities and investment subsector of the economy, this happens to be a profession where a whole lot of trust is attached. So you can't just afford to allow anybody to trade. So there should be some level of regulation. So the reason why it is extremely important to get certified is because, number one, you need knowledge. If you observe what the two previous speakers said, that you don't just buy shares, you don't just invest in bonds, you don't just do these things. You need to consult your financial advisor. You need to also consult your stockbrokers. And you can't give what you don't have. So please, it's also important for me to state that Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers don't just give certificates. What they do is to train you. You go through some tutorial processes. You now write exam to actually confirm that, yes, I now understand what it takes to operate in securities and investment subsector of the economy. I now understand what digital asset is. I now understand what commodities and future is based on the output of my examination. So as a result of that, I am qualified to get certified. And thereafter, you become an associate chartered stockbroker. So certification is key. And this other specialist package for first school certificate holder is meant to provide middle level staff. You are not a chartered stockbroker, but you have the middle level knowledge, basic and middle level knowledge that you need to operate in the market. And that is why we called it certified security and investment support specialist. So you can actually render support to chartered stockbrokers and you can also do a whole lot of analysis on your own. Thank you.
For providing clarity on. So, sir, the next, what are the new career roles I imagine within the capital market ecosystem?
Okay, let me quickly respond to that. Within the capital market ecosystem, one cannot afford to lose sight of the place of digital assets. And that is why most Gen Zs are getting interested in the market. You know, I mentioned something, I just don't want to mention a particular app. There was a particular app that brought as much as 300,000 young people to the market last year. And as we speak, they are also still bringing a lot of people. And we have so many other apps like that. So you cannot afford not to really pay attention to digital assets. Another emerging area is non-interest assets. Non-interest assets, which is attracting our compatriots within the Islamic setting, because their religion forbids them from obtaining interest. However, they can share profits. So when you talk about digital assets, when you talk about non-interest assets, when you now talk about blockchain architecture, blockchain technology, these are areas students should pay attention to, because the stock market, the capital market as a whole, is moving towards blockchain because of the security that is attached to it. Thank you so much.
So, sir, while answering this question, you are mentioning of digital assets. So, does that mean technology is reshaping the market ecosystem?
Sorry, please, can you take that again?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Answering this question, right? By emphasizing on digital assets. So, does that mean technology is reshaping this capital market ecosystem?
That's correct. That is why crypto is doing well. That is why you see a lot of people invest in crypto. And though we are not totally against, as an individual, I'm not against crypto, but the bulk of the people investing in crypto are investing without knowledge. They are just investing because people are investing. And that is why a lot of people are losing money in cryptos. So technology has taken over everything. And let me also use this opportunity, because we have some few stockbrokers on board. Any brokerage firm that has not succeeded in developing an app in this age will be phased out of the market very soon. So what am I saying? Please, if you're running a brokerage firm, if you're running an advisory service, whatever you're doing, take advantage of application. And it does with AI, these things doesn't cost too much. You can actually get this at a fraction of what you would have spent 4, 5, 6 years ago. So technology has taken over everything. And it's important for me to say this. I must commend SEC, NGS, and particularly CSCS. As technology is evolving, these people are also moving. And that is why we are comfortable with the regulatory architecture that we have in Nigeria. SEC has proven that they can regulate the market, irrespective of the high level of evolution of technology. NGS has also proven that they are moving it, as things are evolving, they are also moving, and they are even moving ahead of it. And CSCS has also proven that they are not joking with technology. So this is a market that is protected. This is a market that we are guiding jealously. And there is nothing you do in the globe today that you can discountenance technology. And it is a good thing that the regulators are embracing it. And the brokers are also doing the same. And we strongly advise those that are yet to embrace technology fully to do that speedily. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ben. So I think I would just want to direct my next question towards Mr. Taiwo from SEC. So I would like to ask, with the rise of fintech and digital assets, what trends should finance leaders pay attention to? Mr. Taiwo, please. We're going to get back to Mr. Taiwo in a jiffy. Miss Mercy, for Coronation, if financial markets are evolving with digital innovation and new career opportunities are there, where do you see those opportunities emerging for new professionals, please?
Hi, Priya, can you hear me? All right. So,
I can hear you.
with emergence of technology, adoption of technology, the move towards digital brokerage and all of those things, digital services, I think the roles we typically see in IT, core IT, are now being somewhat adopted. I manage products, for instance. Typically, that would have been a role for, 5 years ago, that would most likely be for SaaS, right? Software as a service, where I do product management. I have I have colleagues in IT PMO. Those are core technology roles, right? Just things you see: analytics, data engineering, business analysts, all of these roles, particularly, they were not there in the capital markets years back, but because we are moving towards a more digitized approach, we kind of see these roles popping up here and there. So these are some of the things that people could go into. Everybody must not be an equities trader. Everybody must not be a fixed income trader, right? So there are other things you could do if you're an enthusiast in data, enthusiast in building softwares, even there are developer roles, customer experience roles, customer analytics, technicians, and all of those things. So there are a couple of things you could do, but the most important thing first is get yourself familiar with the industry, hone your skills. It is good to know what you do and know how to do it well. That way you're able to apply it to different scenarios as they come. And then also, I think we need to sound it again and again on how we need to get familiar with regulations in the industry. What is going to work for people in the banking sector doesn't necessarily work for us, and all of those things. So if we do a blend, you as a person, you understand the capital markets, you understand tools, you understand user journeys, understand regulations, and then you just happen to like data engineering, there's space for you in the capital markets. So it is not limiting at all. There are so many things, literally everything applicable out there. You can find a way to practice them within the capital market and do them well.
Thank you very much, Mercy. I think the fact that you said it is not limiting gives some persons a hope that you can actually play any part within the capital market in terms of technology. And I think because of that, I can direct my next question towards Mr. Modi from NGX Academy. I want to ask Mr. Modi, how is technology really reshaping the capital markets with specifically towards NGX, especially for someone like you that have been in the stock space for a while? How have you practically seen technology reshaping the market, sir?
Okay, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. A lot has been said about technology and how it's impacting our the capital market. Call it a disrupting variable. You are not wrong, because it has come to stay and is changing the narratives in the market. Take, for instance, the way we trade today. Let's start from trading. Trading has been liberalized. People now send their orders to the trading engines or trading points via their mobile phones. That has been empowered by technology. All right. The whole of value chain has been impacted from how issues are being I think that was last year, NGS launched NGS Invest platform, all right, to also play in the primary side of the market. NGS is known for secondary market activities, all right. With the NGS Invest platform, the banks that did right issue last year were able to, quickly turn around that circle, taking advantage of the platform. So what were they able to do? What was the technology behind it? That, look, instead of sending your right circular to all your shareholders, look, you can assemble all of them in a platform, put up the number of units you are offering in rights. Then whoever wants to subscribe will just come into the app and do as if it's doing a normal trade. And that will follow through. Everybody in the value chain has a role to play. There is a model for the issuer. There is a model for the broker. There is a model for the clearing houses, or in this case, CFCs. So that was enabled by technology. That has changed or introduced a change on how rights issues are being done, especially by listed companies. All right. Another aspect you also look at, appreciate rather the part of technology is when it comes to how you make payment for shares purchased. So before now, you are likely to go to the bank, transfer to the stockbroker, but no, from the comfort of your home, with the payment system we now have, you can actually, credit your online trading account, or rather your stockbroking account. It reflects in-house, it's being captured by the order management system of the broker, and voila, you are good to go. Within in a space of 10 minutes that you credited your account, you can trade. That is being enabled by technology. For us, maybe behind the scenes, those playing a regulatory role in this market, most of the tools we now use, especially for real-time market surveillance and monitoring systems, are being empowered by technology. So I don't need to wait. If somebody, for instance, is manipulating the market, I don't need to wait till the end of the market, or 2 days later, or 3 days later, or 4 days later, or maybe 1 month later, to be able to detect what's happening in my market, what has happened. On real-time basis, I'm able to track, that this is an unusual pattern in the market and it needs to be looked into. That is the power of technology. You receive real-time alerts, all right? You receive, you can query the system to see, you want to see the historical behavior of this particular participant in the market. That is being enabled by technology. If we start talking about, how technologies reshaping the market, I think it's a discussion that we even continue from now till even by this time next year. Why? Because they are numerous. There are many. There is practically nothing you do in this market that has not felt the impact of the technology system. So yeah, even if we want to go to analysis, especially for the students we have in this circle, who are likely, or the low-hanging fruit for them to utilize the technology for in this market is maybe when it comes to company analysis, data analytics. These have been enabled by technology. So there are actually numerous of them, and we are doing that already. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony. Thank you. That was actually very, very necessary for everyone to understand that right now, from the convenience of your home, technology is actually changing the way we view the capital markets, and in turn affecting capital formation in Nigeria. And now I'm going to go towards Mrs. Nkechi for LCFE. What role has LCFE particularly played in the Nigerian financial market ecosystem?
Thank you very much, Pri, and to all my co-panelists. Good afternoon, and thank you for choosing to be here. At LCFE, that's Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, coming into the market, we understood that the Nigerian capital market in itself has existed for quite some time. And the commodities market in itself has existed for decades and decades, and both have been functioning accurately and appropriately, though with challenges in the commodities ecosystem. So the entrance of the commodities exchange, that is specifically now LCFE, one of the major areas we looked at was how to bring to bridge the gap rather between the capital market and the commodities market. So the commodities market, as we all know in Nigeria, it cuts across agriculture, oil and gas, solid minerals, and so on, and energy, and so on and so forth. And the capital market is one that is vast with capital, money, cash, liquidity. That is they are looking for various instruments to diversify investment portfolios. And we understand that the commodities market is also looking for that structure, is looking for funding, is looking for liquidity. And that is where the LCFE comes in as a commodities exchange. So in one of the areas that we have when we started out was one, to drive awareness across board, driving awareness across board. We still get from time to time, and I'm sure that many participants before joining the LCN may not have even heard of what a commodities exchange is or what it does. And there's sessions like these over time, driving awareness, financial literacy, partnering with stakeholders within the capital market, they've done a bit in improving and adding that level of inclusion to ensure that there is an improved level of capacity across board. Coming into the market, the seasoned stockbrokers who have traded on equities for quite a while, they are now being trained as well to trade on commodity contracts, to understand market trends, to understand price trends, and those are allow them to explore and expand their trading portfolios across board. So including now commodity products like gold into their trading portfolio where they can trade it for clients. Coincidentally, I think I was scrolling through Instagram over time and I've noticed that, or I've seen that, in Nigeria, a lot of people sell gold on Instagram. And when I mean gold, I don't just mean like gold jewelry, like gold bars, silver bars, and they trade them on Instagram. And if you just send them a message and you ask, are you accredited with any institution? Are you licensed? They'll just kind of like brush it off. And it raised some concerns for me because how many people have been scammed from buying gold bars or gold or silver bars on Instagram? Some of them may be legitimate, some of them may have acquired those things through the Dubai route and so on and so forth. But when you have a commodities exchange coming in, there are certain guidelines that are put in place before any asset is listed. If you're familiar with how the Nigerian capital market works, you can't just wake up today and say, I want to have an exchange. You can't wake up today and say, I want to get on an exchange. I want to sell my this on an exchange. I want to sell my that on the exchange. And just because we're doing commodities does not mean that there's still not that level of credibility, level of regulation, that level of transparency. So with the commodities exchange, anybody that comes maybe as an investor or an aggregator to sell, or somebody looking to offtake, you already have that rest assurance that with the regulations on the market, with the oversight of the Securities and Exchange Commission, with the oversight of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, and all the other elements that have been put in place, you are rest assured. So as opposed to having sleepless nights buying gold from unknown sources, or having sleepless nights because you've bought gold and you've kept it in your house, you understand that there are structured vaulting facilities that have been accredited to participate. You're sure that every single person that brings any commodity on the exchange, they are licensed, and you're sure that any broker that is speaking with you that comes to the market is regulated by SEC and also under the regulation of the exchange. So what we've done is we've brought the years and decades of regulation, structure, transparency that the capital market is known for and brought it into the commodities market. Thank you, Bri.
Thank you very, very much. I think it's important for us to know, just like you stated, that we've moved past the, permit me to say, olden days. I know I used to help the Dojima Rice Exchanges that were existed in the ancient times, and now we're in present times. And I think that generally makes me want to know what the system or what our capital market will look like in the next few years. So I'm going to refer back to Mr. Taiwo again. Mr. Taiwo, sir, what will Nigeria's financial market look like 10 years from now for the next generation? Okay. I think he's trying to speak, but we will get back to Mr. Taiwo. I do not want to necessarily spend too much time on this, so I'll be trying to wrap up. So I will just go all the way back to Dr. Ben. We've heard from the onset, your presentation, you talked about students knowing they can do diploma, they can do the CS diploma, and they can start from somewhere. So I know your presentation basically addressed for them every aspect or roles they can have in terms of career paths within the Nigerian capital markets. But what new roles now, like we've mentioned technology at the beginning, what new roles are emerging for them, right? And can you just shed more light on the pathway for them being stockbrokers, basically? Dr. Ben.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Priye. Yes, like I said earlier on, we have a whole lot of emerging opportunities now. And when you mention pathways for them being stockbrokers, we've identified a gap in the market. And considering the fact that we strongly believe that digital assets, non-interest assets, and the likes, blockchain architecture, the next in thing in the market. We also looked at the students and the youths that we have, that the bulk of these youth and students are technological savvy, and they will easily deliver. That was what prompted the institute to upgrade their diploma. It's no longer diploma. So it used to be diploma program. They now upgrade it to support specialist. So with that, you can support a stockbroker. You can be employed by a brokerage firm. And now we have a lot of, with this new normal, we have a lot of virtual work opportunity within the market. Even while schooling, a brokerage firm can engage you as a support specialist, probably to support one or two activities depending on what they assign to you. And maybe some of our students are coming down to just learn so that they can be better informed, so as to take a proper investment decision. But most of them are taking advantage of the opportunity in the capital market in terms of employment. And apart from that, with the CSISS, you can write the institute exam, because you write exam to get qualified to become a support specialist. Then once you pass, you get a certificate. So that certificate gives you the opportunity to seek for job within the capital market space, particularly as regards rendering specialist services to investment and security firms. Then you can also use that certificate to write the professional examination. And thereafter, you become an associated chartered accountant, ACS. So that is a pathway. But in terms of emerging opportunities, like you mentioned, the reality is that, like even the last speaker and the second to the last speaker mentioned, the emerging opportunity is technological driven. And you can see it in what you even do at the community and exchange, community and future exchange. You can see it with what NGS is doing. You can see it with what other exchanges are doing, even what the stockbrokers are doing. So the technology is driving everything. Most brokerage firms, like I said earlier on, are developing applications to make the process far easier and seamless for their clients. So beyond you just placing your order, now you can even trade on your own. And I will not stop commending the regulator and the exchanges. What NGS, in collaboration with CSCS, were able to do last year, the T+2 is commendable. And we're hoping that this year we should be able to move to T+1. And coming back to technology, I don't know if you're aware, there is a particular app that if you sell your share today, you get your money today. So they are doing T+0. T+0, that is what they are doing. So the technology is just the key. And we are fortunate that more than half of our population are youth. And these are people that are technologically savvy, and they are adopting it and imbibing it. So the future for the country is very, very bright. And the future of the market is also very bright. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ben. Thank you very, very much. You've basically just explained for them the parts and what they can do, of which you've already covered in your presentation. I know when they go back to listen to the recording, they'll get a better hang of this. Ms. Mercy, one final question I would like to ask you, it would be, most persons see investment banking and brokerage as glamorous, but in reality, what can separate those high-performing professionals from average participants? What skills do they need to separate them?
Yeah, when you use the term glamorous, truly, investment and securities subsector is a glamorous sector. And, we pride ourselves as the billionaire club because we drive the economy of every nation. We celebrated 100 trillion, 100 trillion market just for equity. We've not even talked about community and future. We've not talked about fees securities. So, and now we're talking about 125 trillion naira just for equities. So, we cannot discountenance the role of the capital markets in the economic development of Nigeria particularly, and that of the globe in general. So truly it's a glamorous profession. But having said that, we can still take advantage of it. We can take advantage of the opportunities that this wonderful sector has provided. How? Since I'm speaking to students, and you would have observed a whole lot of things I would have said, avoiding it because I'm looking at is a very good one. The market gave over 50% last year. That is just for equities. The commodity and future market also did very well. The fixed income market did well last year also. And it is also projected that this market will do well. It is also projected that the market will do well this year. So there is no reason whatsoever why you have to you can set aside 1,000 naira. Because like I said, you might be thinking that it's not possible. How we want to start with 1,000? You can start with 1,000 naira. We have brokers here, they can confirm it. Most brokerage firms can buy stock for you for 1,000 naira. And this is a market where the commission is just too low. It's too low. You are paying little, just something that is totally insignificant. Imagine you pay 1.5 as brokerage commission, 1.5%. So from your 1,000 naira, your broker is just getting 15 naira. 15 naira from 1,000. So this is a market that you can even use it as your saving plan. Now, okay, every month I will be setting aside 2,000 to buy shares, to buy commodities, to invest in futures, to invest in other capital market instruments. So you don't have any excuse whatsoever not to start. And it is easy for you to learn what the market is all about from Nigeria perspective, because these are companies you see every day. And like I said, technology has made it very easy. If you go online now, let's say, for example, I don't want to mention any company. Let me use NGS, yes. Let's say you are interested in NGS because NGS is also quoted in the market. Now you are interested in NGS. You can just go to Google and type 2024 annual report of NGS. And you type 2025 annual report of NGS. You compare both. Are they doing well? You now compare them with other firms in the same industry. Let's assume we're talking about so bank. You download the annual report of that bank. You can now download that of other banks that you're interested in, and you compare it. What is their profitability like? What is their revenue like? Then what is their earning per share like? If you divide what they earned by the number of shares that they have, what is the figure? And in this annual report, you have it there already. And AI has also made this thing very easy, because beyond you having an investment advisor, a stockbroker that will advise you, you also need knowledge. So it is what you are now planning to buy that you can now tell a stockbroker or an investment advisor, I've done my research. I think I want to invest in so. What is your take? So this thing is not difficult. You can pick this annual report and upload it on AI, any of the AI tools, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, anyone, and provide a prompt indicating what you want that instrument to do for you. Compare the annual report of these firms compare the annual report of this firm, and provide a comparative analysis of profit, revenue, earnings per share, anything you are interested in. It will just give you one page. So rather than you reading the entire annual report and all that as a beginner, that one page is enough for you. You can now use your one page to decide. Then thereafter, you can then meet your investment advisor. I'm looking at social stock, and this is my investment objective. All of us have objective. Maybe you are investing because you want to have enough fund in the next 15 or 20 years that you can now pull out to start a particular business that you intend to start. Or you are investing because when you become 60, that you are retired, you are anticipating that what you'll be getting from pension will not be enough to sustain you. So that this will now become another pool for you. So every year you are sure of getting dividends. Or you are investing because you have one money that is with you, and it will still be available with you for the next 6 months. So let me look at some relatively stable companies that I can invest my money, and in the next 6 months I sell, or in the next 3 months I sell. So for me, any day, anytime, I will advocate that you have an idea of what financial analysis is all about, because technology has made it very easy, very, very easy. You can get all those annual reports that you're interested in, and most of these technological tools will give you one page free. The free version of ChatGPT will give you one page. Then that one page, you can use it to draw your deduction. Okay, with this, I think so company is better. This one is better. Then you can then talk to, with your investment advisor. I'm looking at so company in so sector. What is your take? You can also talk to your stockbroker. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. So it is better for you to invest in Nigeria capital market than what most of us are doing now, investing in the US stock exchange, investing in this stock exchange, even in cryptos. Because the only factor that is working for you in crypto is the leverage, which can also wipe out your fund overnight. So this market is well regulated, well regulated. If you have any negative experience with a stockbroker, you can easily notify CIS and SEC. SEC will sanction the company. CIS will take care of the member. So it is well regulated. Like my sister that spoke before me mentioned, you can't just say, I want to list XYZ Nigerian PLC on the stock market, or I want to list social commodity. You go through a whole lot of processes. If it is an equity, you will go through regulatory approval. SEC must approve. Then before you even get listed, NGS will also approve, and they do their due diligence very well. It is a whole lot. And if it is for commodity, the same thing. SEC will approve, the commodity exchange will also approve, and they also do their due diligence very well. So whatever you are investing in, you know you are investing in an instrument that is well regulated, and there's relative confidence that yes, I can't get scammed. I cannot invest in the market and somebody will scam me. Fine, there is risk involved in any investment. You can buy XYZ shares. Let's say you are buying Lagos Bank, for example, Lagos Bank PLC at the rate of 100 naira. It can drop to 90 naira. It can drop to 80 naira. So as you invested your 10,000 that you've been saving as a student, your 10,000 has become 8,000. So those are some of the risks that are attached. And that is why I am advocating for you to learn this. And I'm happy with what Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange is doing. And with the network, with the campus network, I know you can be having regular seminars, regular webinars, where all these things will be dissected, where you will be taught all these things in a condensed form, because it is easy. It is very easy. You don't need to be a mathematician. You don't need to be a researcher to do all these things. It's just normal comparison that you do. As students, the way you compare girls or boys, this one is this one is that. The same comparison, the same thing. You look at what is this one's revenue? What is this one's profits? What is this other company's revenue? That is when you are doing comparison. You are interested in the banking sector, and you cannot buy all bank stock. So you want to invest in the banking sector, invest in manufacturing. You would have heard of diversification. So we are not saying all that because I'm assuming that I'm talking to students whose entire savings might not be more than 20,000 naira. So you might say, okay, let me invest in two sectors. So if the banking sector is not doing well, manufacturing might be doing well. If manufacturing is not doing well, oil and gas might be doing well. If oil and gas is not doing well, pharmaceutical might be doing well. So if that is what you're looking at, you can say, okay, let me buy two companies, 5,000 or 10,000. But the summary of everything is you just have to take action. Take the action today. Don't wait till tomorrow. We have about two brokers on this panel, and they also gave you, during their presentation, you saw their company name. Google it, contact them. On the website of NGS, we have all the brokerage firms are there. On the website of Lagos Commodity Exchange and Future Exchange, we also have all their registered brokers there. So contact them. Any broker you see on these two websites are approved. So contact them, and they are regulated. Nothing can go wrong. If anything goes wrong, you know you are protected. There is an agency that protects you, that if you report to, they will sanction the company. And the company has a capital base. It's like I deposited my money with, let me say, First Bank. If anything goes wrong, I can petition CBN and they will be sanctioned. The same thing. So if you invest through broker XYZ and you didn't get satisfactory service, or there is something that went wrong, you can petition SEC, you can petition NGS, you can petition Lagos Commodity and Future Exchange, depending on the market where you operate. And they will investigate and they will be sanctioned. If they found wanting, they will be sanctioned. So that alone has brought a lot of credibility to the system. So we're talking about you investing in a system where you know that there is high level of credibility. Not Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Not a scheme that is telling you invest 10 naira today and see 2 naira tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Priye.
Thank you very much, sir. We just have 2 more questions, but if you know you have questions, please drop it on the group. Drop it on the chat box, and we would refer your questions to the necessary parties, which will be answered after the session. And Mr. Modi, I have just a question for you, and then we go to LCFE, and then we can then close it out. How does NGX presently balance innovation with regulation and market integrity, sir?
Okay, so it comes with the philosophy of you don't need to inhibit market development with stifle the will of progress in terms of market development with complex regulatory regime. I.e., don't discourage innovations, don't discourage anything that will bring growth to the market with regulation. And we've done that across board. So take, for instance, our rulemaking process. Because rule is all about regulation. So the initial stage of the rulemaking process, we must collaborate with the market, i.e. the practitioners in the market. What do you think of this? So sometimes the suggestion or a recommendation to amend or make any rule also comes from the participants themselves, not actually from the regulator, to say, oh, we need this rule in place, we need this to be amended, this particular rule is obsolete, it needs to be expunged. So we have that collaborative effort with the participants where we sit down, look at the proposal that we want this rule to happen in the market, and we start, dissecting it in a way that with this, they stop other flows. Will it put the practitioners into in a disadvantaged area? Is it going to export as vectors? So the stakeholders will sit down, look at the rules, and if it's enabling, why not? We'll go ahead with it. That is the initial stage of it. Then the next is when it comes to implementation of that rule. All right. So we don't enforce all alone. We also collaborate with the stakeholders when it comes to enforcement. Take, for instance, we have the panel we refer to as an investigation panel. So me sitting in surveillance detected an unusual trade, put in consideration of this could be a potential breach of our rule. It doesn't end with me. That decision doesn't end with me. We must go through a process we call the disciplinary process. Majority participants in our disciplinary process are also market practitioners. We have representatives from the CSCS. We have representatives from the brokers themselves. We have representatives from the Shareholders Association, who is representing the interest of the investors. We have representatives from the registrars. Within that value chain, everybody sits down to look this particular pattern of trading either by a participant or by an investor, does it violate our rule? Is it something we should look at to say, oh, this particular rule is obsolete? Can we expunge it so that market can move? And I will give you an instance. There are certain things, if you look at the new ISA 2025 as amended, some of the powers that SEC, probably, let me just use the word, do not have before, have that been enshrined in that ISA. So when it comes to take, for instance, the regulation of SEC standard Ponzi schemes, it has been pronounced, clearly written, clearly stated that SEC can actually enforce charges against Ponzi scheme promoters. All right. The rules now or then, before with this new ISA, a fine of, let's say, 2 million then. The ISA has seen it that, look, 2 million is too small for given the grievous nature of this particular breach. It has now increased it to 20 million. So those kind of changes reflect market realities. All right. Those kind of regulations reflect market realities. They are never in any way to discourage innovation. They are never in any way to stifle development. They are never in any way meant to put any of the participants or any of the market stakeholders into disadvantage, because before it becomes true, all right, we have that collaborative handshake before we come up with any regulation. Then the other one would be around the trade itself, the trading circle itself. We know, like I mentioned earlier, that technology has enabled a lot of things in our market. All right, within that value chain, from trading to settlement to delivery to all, but even pre-trade processes has been impacted by technology. All right, these are welcome developments in our market. What we need regulation to do, or what we are doing with regulation rather, would be to make sure that these innovations do not, at the end of the day, defeat its purpose, either by putting certain participants into disadvantage, or be used to manipulate the market. There are some innovations we have shut down. Why? Because they are susceptible to manipulation. Right? Some we constantly monitor it. Take, for instance, the mobile apps. Doctor has spoken very well. Most of our trading license holders do have, their mobile apps they deploy for their clients or their investors to trade from the comfort of their home or trade from anywhere they are. That's remotely. What did they do? They sent their orders using those mobile apps, and it hits our market, especially those that have direct market assets. All right. When it comes, what we're going to be seeing is that, oh, Mr. ABC is trading through firm A. So we will see the firm code. We've also noticed that this particular app is also has started exposing investors, especially those who have it, but don't know how to protect themselves. All right. So we had a case that I'm just telling you the reasons why we use regulation to monitor the progress of these innovations and initiatives in the market. Yes. So we had a case where a particular guy that uses mobile app to trade, all right, is a client of a dealing member firm that downloaded the app, started trading. Then we found out that his account was hijacked, or let me say his login details into those in the trading app was hijacked. His shares were sold, but the money was not taken. All right, the money remained in the trading accounts and was used to buy an illiquid security. All right. And that was the essence of stealing this man's login details. That's all. So they sold the juicy stocks they had, used the money to buy other stock that you can't even sell. You can see the dimension it has taken. So regulation will always be there to monitor how these initiatives have been done. What are the downside risks? What can we do to curb it? Education is also very key, which regulation will keep continue to push. Whatever it is you're introducing in the market, let the users be educated. Let the target audience have that knowledge to say, this is how to use this, and this is how not to use it. Because if anything happens, we'll come after the firm and not even the investor in this case. All right. So the regulation is there to encourage development. We are there to encourage initiative that will bring about the growth and development of our markets. Thank you very much. You are muted if you are speaking. You are muted if you are speaking.
Sorry, my apologies. Thank you very much, sir. I think one thing I've learned from this is that regulations basically means we must follow some strict rules in carrying out our trades, basically. Thank you very much, sir. And then finally, once again, to Mrs. Obichidi, what opportunities are there for young finance professionals in the capital market space as a whole?
Thank you very much, Priya. I'm going to keep my answer short and straight to the point to the best of my abilities. We've heard quite a lot from all the speakers so far regarding the career process. So just like you said, advice. I will give the advice one of being open and being available to the market. So for example, this is one of those sessions. The capital market has spent quite extensive amount of time trying to get into the campuses, trying to get into the young investors. Each and every single one of them, they have social media accounts. They are putting out so much information out there. So that is one of the ways that I'd advise. Get yourself surrounded by the right knowledge. And from there, you'll start seeing the opportunities come about. So for example, at Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, we host a financial literacy event every single year, and there's an essay writing competition, and winners of that competition get a 1 month free, a 1 month paid internship with the exchange, which is already giving you some work experience that you can use to start off your career. Some of our partner network universities, if they host their own competitions within their own spaces, we've had quite a few of their own students come on board for internship opportunities during the summer holidays, during the winter holidays. I understand the need for us to want to try and rest, but once in a while, it's good for you to get around this environment, get on internships, join those boot camps that these institutions have, so that you already have a leg in. And you know, being a part of sessions like this too are great. I was talking with Priya this afternoon to just tell him that, oh, Kodira did an amazing job, and we would rather be giving her a certificate of excellence just for her role of hosting this session today. So being part of your campus network, not just being part of the network, but being active and stepping up. What you're doing is that you're getting in the face of these institutions that are looking towards the younger generation. Some of them, they ask you for papers and articles. Write to them, submit your papers and articles. They can go on their websites, they will go on their social media pages. You can send them emails to maybe do a 2-week internship, a 1 month internship. And I'm trying to see how I will work with Priya within the LCN network to develop a mentorship program along the capacity, along the capital market, where some members of our LCN network can intern in finance institutions within the capital market. And I'm sure that some of the institutions that are here with us would not decline that great opportunity, because from there we tend to have seen some great talents within university students. We've had people who have come for their IT programs, and when they go back, we have a job already waiting for them. So the opportunities are there. The question is, are you making yourself available? Are you getting the information? Are you putting yourself out there? Or are you just staying in your own little cocoon? Yes, schooling 100% important, but don't forget the extracurricular part. It differentiates you from the others in the job market. We have many people with first classes these days. What differs first class A from first class B? Come up with creative ideas, creative solutions. The capital market has so many areas where you can prefer solutions. So I would not spend too much time, but I'm sure that sometime down the line within the LCN network, we'll have a specific one-on-one career session with myself, and then I will definitely go into more detail about this. But thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Obichidi. Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you to everyone that's been part of this call. We really appreciate your time here and your presence here. So I will just hand over the mic to Ms. Iribe to just give us our closing remarks. But please, before she comes on board, please ensure that if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and then we'll direct your questions to the necessary panelists or to whoever has given the presentation so that you can have your answers during the week. But in the meantime, Ms. Iribe, please, the floor is yours for the closing remarks, and then we can call it a day. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hello, hello. So before we sign off, we'd like to take a moment to wrap things up with a big thank you. We would like to express LCN's sincere appreciation to everyone who made today's event a success. Although we're meeting virtually, I understand and I know that the impact of of the conversations that we've shared has truly been significant. So first, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our hosts, the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, and our sponsors, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Coronation Wealth, and the Nigerian Exchange Group Academy. We deeply appreciate LCFE for organizing this conference and for creating a platform that helps to bridge the gap between students and industry professionals. We are very grateful for your commitment to financial education and capacity building and the help that you are giving to shape the next generation of informed investors and future industry leaders. We would also like to thank our distinguished guest speakers and industry professionals. Thank you so much. Thank you the Securities and Exchange Commission, the NGX Academy, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and Coronation Wealth. We understand that you're really, really busy. You have busy schedules, but you made time for us just to see us and teach us about the capital market and its ecosystem. We are really grateful for the practical guidance and knowledge that you have shared with us today, as well as the career and investment opportunities. And to all our beautiful participants and attendees, thank you for dedicating your time, engaging actively, and contributing thoughtful questions throughout the session. Your enthusiasm and participation has really brought this conference to life. I won't even lie. We trust that the knowledge that you have gained today will not only empower you, but help you be more confident when you're stepping into your professional life. And finally, we can't forget our technical team. Our technical team, we cannot forget them. Our team that is working diligently behind the scenes. Your coordination, your technical experience and attention has really made sure that everything has gone smoothly. So thank you. And as we conclude today, I hope that we can all carry the lessons that we learn and actually apply them in our careers and personal growth. Thank you once again for being part of our conference, and I wish you all a productive day and continued success in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And let's have ourselves a nice weekend. Please feel free to reach out to the details, drop your questions on the chat, and we'll be sure to answer them within the week. For now, thank you very much and have yourself a nice weekend. Bye for now, everyone.